getting more insight on a horrifying story we've been tracking. An 80-year-old woman kidnapped, strangled, and left to die in the woods. She survived after trekking through the woods until she found a doorbell to ring.
Over the next couple of minutes, you'll hear from the man who answered the door about the ordeal. 12 News reporter Sheena Losciuto found him. Sheena, that man actually flagged you down today.
Yes, and he had quite the story to tell. He also tells us that he took Smithfield police through the wooded area in question here, right at the Smithfield-Gloucester town line. Police say an 80-year-old woman gets kidnapped from her home in Coventry. She's strangled and left to die in the woods in Smithfield.
What a trooper. That's what I want to say. What a trooper.
The suspect, who authorities identify as Stephen Henning, is so confident she's dead, he comes back to the scene the next day with a shovel, but this time police are there investigating.
It was Sunday morning. It happened Saturday night, she said.
That's because Jeff Mansi, a Smithfield man, says the woman is able to trek through the woods.
It's that way.
And up to his steps.
It came right through there.
The area he lives in is so secluded, he says he forgot he has a doorbell.
And there's an old woman in my door, in the window, and I'm like, wow, what's going on, you know? So, I opened it up, and she told me the whole story. She sat right on that towel.
He says she asks for water and for him to call police, which is when authorities first hear of the crime.
She was a little lady, probably like that tall.
Soon, both Smithfield and Coventry police are there and now in the wooded area.
I pointed the direction. I took them up near my barn. I said, I know she came through there.
And the woman is taken to the hospital.
She was in the woods for like 6 hours, she said, and she made it to my doorstep, which is about a third of a mile that way, which is going to feel like you walked 1.5 miles through these woods, you know. How scared would somebody be that didn't know these woods being stuck in there?
Now, I've been following this story all week. Police in Coventry told us yesterday the woman's injuries are serious, but they do not appear to be life-threatening at this point. Multiple agencies continue investigating. Reporting live in Smithfield tonight, I'm Sheena Losciuto, 12 News.
Tonight, we're hearing from the man who says an elderly kidnapping victim showed up on his doorstep.
We've been tracking the story for days. Police say the victim was taken from her home, strangled, and left for dead in the woods of Smithfield. The man who claims to have helped her walked our Sheena Losciuto through the woods and explains what went down.
Sheena's live in Smithfield tonight. And Sheena, this man flagged you down today.
We were in the area just asking anyone if they know anything about this case, and that's when we met Jeff Mansi. For the last couple of days, we've been hearing from authorities, but now we're hearing more about what happened before police even showed up. A secluded area where you run into wildlife more than people.
I choose to live this way. You know, nobody's rang my doorbell in like 2 years. I forgot I even had a doorbell.
Nothing but woods surround Jeff Mansi's property.
Yeah, I can walk out of here backwards with my eyes closed, sleeping.
To him, it's his home.
It was Sunday morning. It happened Saturday night, she said.
To an 80-year-old woman left to die, it's hope.
She was right at this window. There's an old woman in my door, in the window, and I'm like, wow, what's going on, you know? So, I opened it up, and she told me the whole story.
Police say a woman was kidnapped from Coventry, put into the trunk of her own car, strangled, and left to die in the woods.
She was in the woods for like 6 hours, she said, and she made it to my doorstep, which is about a third of a mile that way, which is going to feel like you walked 1.5 miles through these woods, you know. How scared would somebody be that didn't know these woods being stuck in there? She sat right on that towel, and she wanted a cup of water and somebody to call the cops.
Mansi says that woman sat on his steps until officers arrived. That's the first time police are made aware of a kidnapping. Police say the suspect, Stephen Henning, returned to the woods as they were investigating, this time with a shovel. Police now go after him.
We're on the borderline of Smithfield and Burrillville and Chepachet, but it is Smithfield.
After a pursuit, the suspect was arrested in Providence, all following the pivotal moments Mansi says took place on his steps, where he was the first to hear it all.
She told me the story, and for what she went through, she held it together very well. That's all I could say.
And Henning is also facing charges out of Burrillville for allegedly stealing a car there. And of course, the charges out of Coventry as well. Multiple agencies continue investigating tonight. Reporting live in Smithfield, I'm Sheena Losciuto, 12 News.